In the quiet glow of a hospital room, illuminated by the gentle hum of medical monitors, Elena Martinez checked the vitals of the patient in bed 4. At 29, she had been a nurse for 6 years, treating every patient with unwavering compassion, regardless of their background or demeanor. This patient, however, stood out not for who he was, but for the urgency of his need. The chart identified him as James Carter, age 34, suffering from advanced kidney failure and on the transplant list for nearly 2 years without a match. His condition was worsening. Elena had watched him fade over the past month in the ICU, his strength ebbing as he clung to hope for a kidney that seemed unlikely to arrive. What the chart omitted was that James Carter was the CEO of Carter Innovations, a tech empire worth billions. He had admitted himself under a partial name, craving anonymity, weary of being defined by his wealth. To the hospital staff unaware of his identity, he was simply another patient battling for survival. Elena didn't know his status. She only knew he was alone. No relatives came to visit, no friends dropped by. His isolation struck her more deeply than his illness. "Good morning, Mr. Carter," Elena said warmly, adjusting his 4. "How are you holding up today?" "Like I'm running out of time," James replied with a wry smile, which, according to the doctors, isn't far off. "Not on my shift," Elena said with resolve. "We're going to find you a donor." "I've been waiting 2 years," James said, his voice heavy with fatigue. "My blood type's rare. The chances of a match in time, they're slim." "Then we'll defy the odds," Elena declared. "I'm getting tested." James stared at her, stunned. "What? No, you can't. You don't even know me." "I know you're a person who deserves a chance to live," Elena said simply. "I know you're facing this alone, and that's not right. If I can help, I will. I'm getting tested." "You can't just give a kidney to a stranger," James protested. "Sure I can," Elena replied. "People donate to strangers every day. You need a kidney, I have 2. It's straightforward." Over the next week, Elena underwent the testing process, surprising even herself with her determination. To everyone's astonishment, she was a perfect match. When she shared the news with James, he broke down, tears streaming down his face for the first time since his diagnosis. "I can't let you do this," he said, voice shaking. "It's too much. You're giving me part of yourself. What if something goes wrong? What if you regret it?" "The only thing I'd regret is not trying to save you when I could," Elena said firmly. "We're doing this, Mr. Carter. You're getting my kidney, and you're going to live." End of story. The surgery was set for the following week. In the days leading up to it, Elena spent her free time with James, learning about the man whose life she was about to change. He was witty, thoughtful, and his humor shone brighter as hope rekindled within him. He asked about her life, genuinely curious about her family and aspirations. Elena shared that she was the eldest of 4 siblings, supporting her family on her nurse's salary, driven to nursing by a desire to heal others. James revealed his love for jazz music and cheesy sci-fi films, how he'd built his company from scratch, and his fear of dying alone, surrounded by people who valued his wealth over his heart. "Why don't you have family here?" Elena asked one evening. James paused. "I have family, but they're more interested in my fortune. When I got sick, they hovered, waiting for their cut of the inheritance. I couldn't stand it, so I checked in here under a partial name and told them I was at a clinic in Europe. I wanted to face this without people pretending to care while tallying my net worth." "That's heartbreaking," Elena said. "Everyone deserves people who see them for who they are." "Is that why you're doing this?" James asked. "Because you pity me?" "I'm doing this because saving lives is why I became a nurse," Elena replied. "And because I believe every person has worth beyond what they can offer. You're not your bank account or your company. You're a person who deserves to live." The surgery went smoothly. Both Elena and James recovered well, though the process was grueling. Elena spent a week in the hospital, then 6 more weeks recovering at home. During that time, James visited often, bringing meals, books, and anything she needed. "You gave me a kidney," he said when Elena objected to his kindness. Let me at least bring you coffee." As they healed, their bond grew from gratitude to friendship, then to something deeper. James found himself drawn to this woman who had saved him without expecting anything in return. Elena learned that the lonely patient she'd helped was a billionaire CEO who'd hidden his identity to find genuine connection. 3 months later, while flipping through a magazine at her doctor's office, Elena saw James's face on the cover of a business feature. That evening, she confronted him. "You're James Carter, the James Carter, CEO of Carter Innovations, worth billions. And you let me think you were just another patient?" James looked apologetic. "I'm sorry. I meant to tell you, but at first, I wanted privacy. Then I saw you treated me the same no matter what, and I didn't want that to change." "Would you have donated if you knew I was wealthy?" "Yes," Elena said without pause. "Your money doesn't change that you're a person who needed help. But you should have been honest." "You're right," James admitted. "I was wrong to keep it from you. But Elena, you're the first person in years who saw me for me, not my wealth. When I was at my lowest, you didn't see a CEO or a fortune. You saw a scared, lonely man and cared enough to save him. That's rare. That's why I'm in love with you." Elena blinked, stunned. "You're in love with me?" "I'm in love with the woman who gave me her kidney without knowing my name," James said. "The nurse who stayed with me when I was terrified, who made me believe I was worth saving. I love you for seeing me when everyone else saw only money." Tears welled in Elena's eyes. "I'm in love with you too. Not because of your wealth, I didn't even know about that until today. I love the man who loves terrible sci-fi movies, brings me coffee, and makes me laugh when I'm supposed to be recovering. But James, no more secrets." "No more secrets," James promised. "And starting now, I want to help your family not as payment for the kidney, but because I love you and want the people you care about to have the opportunities they deserve." "I didn't save you for your money," Elena said. "I know," James replied. "But I have resources I'm not using meaningfully. Let me fund your siblings' education. Let me help your parents live comfortably. Let me use my wealth for something that matters." 6 months post-surgery, James proposed to Elena in the hospital room where they'd first connected, the same room where she'd vowed to donate her kidney. "You gave me life when I was fading," James said, kneeling with a ring in hand. "You saved me, not just physically but in every way that matters. You showed me true connection is real, that people can care without hidden motives. You loved me when I had nothing to give but myself. I want to spend the life you gave me proving what that means to me. Will you marry me?" Elena, tears streaming, said yes. They married 3 months later. James founded the Martinez Foundation, funding healthcare for those in need and supporting living organ donors during recovery. At their wedding, Elena's mother gave a heartfelt toast. "My daughter gave a stranger her kidney, expecting nothing. She did it because that's who she is, someone who gives selflessly. James, you gained her kidney, but more importantly, her heart. Cherish both." James stood, adding, "I was dying alone, hiding who I was because I was tired of people loving my wealth instead of me. Elena saved me without knowing my name or my worth. She saw a person in need and acted. That's true love. That's real. All I have pales in comparison." Sometimes, the greatest gifts come with no expectations. Sometimes, saving a life leads to being saved in ways we never imagined. And sometimes, a nurse's choice to give a kidney to a solitary patient sparks a love story rooted not in wealth, but in the essence of who we are when everything else falls away. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories of selfless giving, authentic love, and the discovery that the most valuable things are given freely, not bought. Share in the comments a moment when helping someone without expectation brought unexpected joy, or when someone saw your true worth beyond the surface. Your story could inspire others.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a twist. Stay tuned to Reddit Tales Times for your daily dose of drama, laughs, and unbelievable stories.